You said the gun that you were charged with was not yours. Who did it belong to?
It belonged to my cousin. I didn't realize he put it in my pocketbook. That I did not realize that because I had a bottle of liquor in my pocketbook. And when I was leaving out, I didn't realize that when I went into the bathroom that he put the gun in my pocketbook.
Right. I have no idea how it got there. It just magic poof. It was in. I forgot about it. I'm innocent. And hey, maybe you can choose to believe her story, but I know I wouldn't because I have information. I mean, she's been in and out of prison for the past 25 plus years. This is just part of the game. And it's the game that both she and Connecticut is playing with each other because no matter how many crimes she commits, they continue to just give her small sentence, short sentence, slap on the wrist after slap on the wrist. And here we are again, and someone is not taking accountability. Anyways, let's jump in and I'll unpack it at the end.
Good morning.
Please state your name and inmate. Sorry. Please state your name and inmate number for the record.
My name is Adrian Marina Thompson. My inmate number is 283 610.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Asia Thompson, number 283610. It's serving a 6-year execution suspended after 30 months with 3 years probation for possession of controlled substance, criminal possession of a firearm, failure to appear 2. As of today, records reflect the parole eligibility date of October 10th, 2024. There is no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and shows the offender has completed the following programs. Employment. Utilizing the woman's risk needs assessment, the offender's overall score for recidivation falls within the moderate range. This is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
Hello. Good morning again. My name is Asia. At the hearing, I've been ticket free since I've been here. I've been holding the same job. I'm in culinary. This is my first time ever becoming in front of a parole board. I take responsibility in my actions. I have no victim in this case. And quite frankly, I'm a little bit too old to keep coming back and forth. And I was working before I came in on and off, but I do have a job waiting for me when I get out. I'm completing the programs that they allow me to. I'm just waiting on the list to get back in, to get into the additional service. But I've been holding the same job down for a year. I'm in culinary. This, like I said, this is my first time ever being on parole. Like, and I don't have any victims. I'm just asking for another chance to get out there and get it correct. Basically, like you have my like I don't get in trouble here. So like I don't have any tickets. I don't have no tickets. I don't have a victim. It's just me.
All right.
It's just me.
Well, okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Thompson. So what we do here is we read about your background.
Mm-hmm.
We read about what you've done since you've been in. Based upon that, we have some questions for you to arrive at your suitability for parole.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about your case and we're going to give you a decision. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to start questions with board member Chance.
Okay, so Ms. Thompson, I appreciate your opening comments. I want to address something that you said. Now, you have a 25-year criminal history. One of the things that you said is that the last 4 years, okay, prior to your incarceration, that you were financially supporting yourself by selling drugs. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I was.
So let me tell you who your victims are, okay?
Yes.
All those people that you're selling drugs to or were selling drugs to, they are victims. Okay?
Yes.
And it's I don't understand why you didn't have voices on your OAP. But I think you need to really have a good understanding of what selling drugs and the people buying drugs from you, what they go through. Okay? They're serious victims.
I
Okay?
was, okay, I'll let you finish.
Okay. So then you have a high drug score of 4. And you said, cocaine was a problem for you. You attended multiple treatment in the community. Okay? So you remember when you were using and you bought drugs to support your habits, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You were a victim then. Okay? You were a victim because you were buying from someone that was selling poison to you, and you turned around and you were selling that same poison to people in the community. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So your victims are the people you sold to and the community in which you lived and sold drugs. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you said the gun that you were charged with was not yours. Who did it belong to?
It belonged to my cousin. I didn't realize he put it in my pocketbook. That I did not realize that because I had a bottle of liquor in my pocketbook. And when I was leaving out, I didn't realize that when I went into the bathroom that he put the gun in my pocketbook. So my
You didn't
fingerprints,
ask him for it?
no, my fingerprints wasn't on the gun. No, I did not know the gun was in my pocketbook. I did not. I had a bottle of liquor. So I had a bottle of liquor in there. So when I went to the bathroom, when I came out, I didn't realize I had the gun in my pocketbook. That's one thing I don't agree with guns. And he never owned up to it, and being that it was in my possession, because I had a handbag, not a pocketbook that come over this, I had a handbag. So when I left out the room and I picked the bag up off the dresser, because there was a bottle of liquor in the bag. So if the bottle of liquor wasn't in the bag, I would have noticed that the weight was different. But I had a bottle of liquor in the bag.
So part of what we know, or I know here on the panel, is that people who sell drugs carry guns because they say it's for their protection.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let that go. So for now. So when was the last time you used?
Well, the night that I got arrested, like I wasn't a big time drug dealer. I was just
No,
really.
I know there's a difference.
Okay.
When was the last time you used drugs?
I just said the night that I got arrested, July 17th.
And why is it that you think that you will not need treatment when you go back in the community?
No, I did tell the parole hearing officer that I was attend meetings. That I will attend meetings. Like, it wasn't an everyday use. I was more drinking a little bit, but not to where I woke up with like shakes or things like that.
So you were drinking and using cocaine?
I came in with liquor in my system. The last time I used cocaine, I don't know, was a while, but I had liquor in my system when I came in.
So why do you think that, and I'm going from, the question that you answered, why do you think you committed this offense or these offenses?
Well, my offense was possession of narcotics, man.
Why do you
Is that the
think
offense?
why do
Okay.
you think you continue to commit these offenses?
Because I was
I
just
mean, okay, go ahead.
okay. Thank you. Well, over the past years, maybe, honestly, because I was just taking care of myself. I don't have no children, and I was just being disrespectful to myself, basically. Like, I really didn't have worries in the world, and I'm being honest. But with me being incarcerated now, I lost a lot. Like, I'm the only child, and I lost one parent since I've been in here, and I only have one parent left. And a lot of bad things just been happening to my family, and I just feel a lot of it, like, especially with my dad. He was getting better when I was helping him. And I just feel like if I wasn't in here, maybe he would still be alive a little bit. He wasn't on drugs, but I was helping him learn, like, walk again, because he found out he had COPD. So I was in Waterbury a lot, and a lot of things just started changing in my life until that one night, to that last night. Like, I was ready to stop doing a lot to help my father, and then my mother's getting older, and like I said, I'm the only child. So my parents were starting to depend on me.
You're telling me your reason for using and selling is because you had no responsibility and no children. Why not go to school, get a good job, or go to college, or do something positive? Why go to a life of crime?
I don't know what happened. Because I graduated high school. You're looking at me like, and I'm being really honest. Like, I graduated from high school, and I was raised right. I just don't know where I just went wrong at, and I just continued that spree until this time that I got locked up. I really realized, like, I wasted a lot of my life.
I mean, you've done well on previous releases. You were successful 7 times. So why would you complete probation or whatever you were on, or discretionary parole, and then go out and commit more crimes?
Parole officer Chance, Miss Chance, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I really don't have, like, it's crazy, as old as I am, like, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know where I keep going wrong at. And it's like, I really don't know where I keep going wrong at. But what I realized that this time right here, like, I'm getting too old for this. Like, I need to, like, not be around the same type of people. Like, I really don't need to be around the same type of people. So my support system is a lot stronger now. I have a lot of older people in my life.
Who is your support system? Because I didn't.
I have my mother is alive. My mother's name is Denise Thompson. I had my father before he passed. My father passed in January. Like, they was trying to help me get back right. My friend Kenneth Turner, and they're all older than me.
So your support system is your mother and your friend.
Yes. Yes, I have nieces and nephews. I have a brother from my dad, but with my mom, I'm my mom's only child.
Where's your brother?
My brother's in Waterbury.
Ms. Thompson, I think what would help you, I do really think that you need to do an addiction services program. And
That's
I do
what I
need to take the Voices program.
I'm on the
Because
list
sitting
for
here
addiction
and
service.
telling us that, you feel you have no victims, and, I appreciate you not having any tickets, but I think, and you haven't been able to tell why you were raised appropriately, but you took to a life of criminal behavior. So I think you need to get a little bit more information from some programs.
Yes, ma'am. I am on the addiction service. I'm waiting to join that class. I am on the list for that.
And I would like you to also ask if they can get you on the list for the Voices program, because that will give you a good understanding of who your victims are.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I have nothing further because I don't have Ms. Thompson going on today. I just think she needs
think you're heading in the right direction. Do you have anything further?
I just want to ask one question, well, maybe two. So Ms. Thompson, I read in your file that you have a pending modification matter.
No, it's just I go back on the 22nd of this month, ma'am, to because the judge forgot to put it on record that I have to register.
Oh,
the
the
gun.
dangerous
Yes,
substance. Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's all. And it's virtual. It's virtual.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, I have her coming back as well, sir, Chair. I think that she would benefit from participating in a tier program. And I would also recommend that she figure out, I mean, she was all over the place in terms of her using, and she wasn't using. She said she was selling the drugs to support her habit. And then when she asked her, when Ms. Chance asked her the last time she used, she hadn't used in I don't know how long. And so get it. Get your
I've
story
been
right.
locked up for a year. I've been locked up for a year. So the last time I did use was the night that I got arrested. I had alcohol in my system. Yes, I've been locked up since last year.
Okay. Oh, but
Yeah.
so you said to her, she asked you when was the last time you used cocaine, and you said I haven't used that in a while. I'm not like you said I'm not a heavy drug dealer, but I was using to support my habit.
Yes,
Right.
and I had liquor in my system that night.
Did you have
And I
crack
did.
cocaine? Did you have
No,
crack?
I didn't have crack cocaine in my system. I had alcohol in my system.
Okay, but
That's what I had,
you
yes.
were in possession of crack cocaine.
Yes, I wasn't. Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
So that's the point that we're trying to get at. If you're selling, did you not get a chance to use it, or what? Like,
No, that night I didn't use cocaine, but I was in possession. I was selling cocaine. I'm going to admit to that.
no, listen to me, Ms. Thompson. Listen, my question is, were you going to use some of the product that night, but you didn't get an opportunity to because you're telling us you're selling drugs to support your own habit of alcohol, or to support your own habit of using crack cocaine?
I was drinking more. See, my habit with cocaine is on and off. It's not constant.
Right, but okay, then so that
night, no, I wasn't thinking about using cocaine that night.
Okay, now listen to me.
Okay.
Then your rationale for selling drugs to support your habit doesn't jive. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe your habit is a lifestyle. If your substance abuse or your crack cocaine use is periodic, it's
Yes.
what you're telling us, then you weren't selling drugs to support your habit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
Not jiving is what I'm saying. So if you're selling drugs for your financial gain to support yourself, that's different than supporting my habit. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was being selfish. I was selling the drugs because I needed the money, and I would occasionally use. That's different than I'm an addict. I'm selling this so I can get my own fixes, kind of thing. So that's where
okay. Now I understand where you was coming from. I wasn't understanding where she was coming from, but okay. Thank you.
All right.
So I would have her come back.
January.
Yeah, that's fine. She's not eligible until October, so
Yep.
it's only 2 more months before, so that's
Right.
Yes.
And I have a criminal history and inadequate institutional program for patient evidence offender change.
Yes.
And I have a tier program, voices, remain free of disciplinary reports, come back with some type of release plan that has something to do with recovery as well.
Yes. Do you think what happens if she gets in the Maryland Baker program, which probably won't, but her drug score is 4. So 9 times out of 10, that's where she's going to be. And the Maryland Baker is 6.
They do everything.
But it's still 6 months, and then we're still saying she needs to do voices, and that's a lot to do in 4 months. Or
It's 6 months, January.
Yeah.
no, it's July.
Yeah.
Almost
6 months,
August.
January.
September. Oh, so maybe we add 1 more month?
But that's what I'm like. Is there enough time for her to do what we're asking her? Is the question. It's a
Well,
lot.
So the recovery release plan is something that she would develop
Right.
if she gets into
The
Maryland. Baker.
Marilyn Baker.
They would develop that.
That would be part of that.
Right, but
And
that's
you
what
could
we're
take
still-
voices. You could take voices while you're in Maryland Baker.
But it's still 6 months, and she is not gonna have 6 months. She's gonna. It's almost the end of July, it's the 18th.
Mhm.
So you figure 2 weeks before she gets in, and you have August, September, October, November, December, and then January. So she'll be finishing up maybe the program. And then we're
So that's what I'm saying. Do you want to do February?
She'd be able to have some good insight
Okay.
and would be able to like make a decision because at that time she'd be in phase 4. If she gets in Maryland Baker, she'd be in phase 4.
But if she's tier 2, then she'll, okay.
Great.
Okay,
So are those good?
Yeah.
All right. So in regard to Asia Thompson, 283610, I move to deny parole at this time based upon criminal history, inadequate institutional program participation, and evidence of vendor change. And to rehear this case in January of 2025, and recommend that you remain disciplinary report free, that you complete a tier program, you complete voices, and that you put together a release plan that includes some employment opportunities and housing opportunities and a recovery type plan that deals with substance use and ongoing abstinence for that. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Ms. Thompson, we're gonna see you again in January. We really want you to do well. We want to support you in this.
Thank you.
You know, and those things will be explained to you by the parole officer. What we'd like you to do that would be a benefit to you, okay?
Yes,
All right. We'll see you again. Thank you.
Ms.
Thank you.
Thompson, what I would also suggest to you, if you can, and it would only benefit you, I know that you may be, struggling with some guilt of your not being able to help your father the way that you could have if you weren't there in the facility.
Mhm.
Maybe try to talk to someone, get into some sort of support group just for grief, because that's helpful. 'Cause grief oftentimes rises.
If you looked at my packet, that was one of my things that I wanted to do when I get out, and that's what I will do. Grief and loss.
Good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did see that.
Thank you,
Good luck to you.
thank you.
You're all set.
You're all set.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Good. You.
Okay, they denied, but we're not going to have to wait any further to see her next parole hearing. Here she is, and thank you, Lady Holly and Sir Richard, for making it possible to connect the dots and tie hearings together. If you want to see more like this, check out the Return of playlist. I'll put a link to it in the description below. As we wait for her to get ready, though, I mean, just think about this. Think about the insanity of what they said in this parole hearing. They said, we don't understand. We don't understand why you mess up. You have had 7 successful parole or probation experiences. You're like amazing. And think about that. 7. That means that she has been locked up or given probation or parole, got released, did whatever her probation and parole was, and then caught a new felony and got locked back up 7 times. This is an habitual offender. This is crazy stuff, right? 7. And that's not arrest. That would be like felonies. Her record is so long. And the funniest is she can't even keep her story straight. Oh, no. I was just on alcohol. That wasn't for my personal use. I'm selling it. And it's like, first of all, lady, that doesn't even make it better. It's better for you to just say that you had your problem, that you were using it. But she can't even. What's great, think about this, 25 years in and out of the system and still not to understand that it is in her best interest to make herself an addict versus not. That's crazy. How is that even possible to not know the game that you're playing in? Wild stuff. Anyways, let's go watch this parole hearing, see how she does.
My name is Asia Thompson. My inmate number is 283610.
Thank you. This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Asia Thompson, inmate number 283610. She is serving a sentence of 6 years, suspended after 30 months with 3 years probation for possession of a controlled substance, criminal possession of a firearm, and failure to appear second. As of today, records reflect the parole eligibility of September 13th, 2024. There is no victim input in the case. There is an offender accountability plan. It has been reviewed and shows that the offender has completed tier 2. It has a job. Utilizing women's risk needs assessment awarded, the offender's overall score for acidity falls within the moderate range. Thompson, this is your opportunity to tell the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
Hello. I have sponsors. I finished my group with tier 2. I've been compliant since I've been here. I held the same job. I do have an address to parole to. Mr. Boyceford spoke to my family. I have 2 jobs waiting for me. My sister runs a grooming dog spot on the Berlin Turnpike, and my mother's friend just opened up a restaurant in New Britain on Broad Street called Tin Cup. And so they're just waiting for me to get home. This is my second time appearing in front of you. And like I said, I've been compliant. I get my OSHA 10 license this month, and I'm still in culinary class. I mean, I take full responsibility of my actions. And this is the longest I've been in jail. And I'm just ready to completely successful and just put this in my past, do my probation, and just be compliant. I hooked up with a sponsor to go to meetings when I get home. And just I'm really ready to change my lifestyle. Like, this is the longest I've been here, like I said, and I've been compliant. And I do have family members out there waiting for me. I have no children, but I do have myself, and I just haven't been living the way I should be, and I'm ready to change that.
Okay, thank you for your statement, Ms. Thompson. We do have questions for you. And when we're done with our questions, we'll deliberate and give you our decision. You've been here before. This is a rehear, right?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
were denied in July and
Yes.
asked to do some more work, which it appears you have done. So I want to start by saying I'm not sure that I accept your explanation that your cousin, is your cousin your co-defendant, Adrian?
His name is Savan.
Oh, who's Adrian?
Yeah, I don't know. That was already that's his middle name. That is his middle name.
What is his last name?
Valentine.
Nope. So I have an Adrian Williams for co-defendant.
Yes, that's his that's not my co-defendant. That's what he was saying, but then when it came out, I don't know why he lied to the police. But that all came out.
So you're telling us that that person is actually your cousin whose name is?
Yes, that's his middle name is Adrian.
What's
But
his
it's
real name?
Savan Adrian William Valentine.
Savan Valentine. How do you
Yes.
spell Savan?
I think SAHVONNE.
That's your cousin?
Yes.
Like a blood cousin. You're related somehow.
Yes, his father is my second cousin. His father is my second
so
cousin.
a distant cousin.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yes.
So not accept your explanation that your cousin put the gun in your purse, but we're not going to go back and forth about that. You were convicted of having a weapon, right?
Yes.
It's your
Yes, I was.
responsibility to know. When I go out with my cousin, I don't have to worry that my cousin's going to slip a gun in my purse. I don't have to worry that my cousin has a gun. I know my cousin doesn't have a gun, or I wouldn't be hanging out with my cousin. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, I understand where you're coming from, but the night how that happened, it just happened. Like I didn't realize it. I didn't.
And it's your job to realize it, is what I'm telling you.
Yes.
From
and that
here
was
on forward, it is your job to know who you're hanging out with, what they have in their possession, what they're doing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very
Yes.
good. So you do acknowledge that you were selling, right?
Yes, I acknowledge that.
So help us understand why you're selling drugs instead of working.
Because the lifestyle, okay, when COVID, I did have a job before when COVID hit. I was just accustomed to a certain lifestyle. I knew it was wrong, and I really wanted to change. I knew I had no business doing that, but I kind of
greed, right? Are we going to attribute this to greed, wanting to have nice things?
nice things. That's what I was accustomed to, and I knew it was wrong. So I take full responsibility, but I do want to change.
I understand.
And I'm willing to change.
Because we'd rather be out of prison and not have all the nice things, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, it's
So,
not worth going to prison, having nice
It's,
things.
it's,
And what do
it's
you
not.
have now? What are you left with after all that?
Nothing, nothing,
So
nothing to
lesson
show
learned
for.
for you, Ms. Thompson, lesson
Yes,
learned, right?
ma'am. Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
All
I
right,
have nothing.
so you did have an addiction yourself though, right? Because I saw that you were
Yes, I
testing
did.
positive for cocaine.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay. And you
Yep.
took the tier 2 program. Did you learn any tools that will help you?
Yes, I did. I learned
Okay,
a lot.
there.
I like the facilitator there. It was like hands-on. We made posters. I went to every class. I didn't miss a class, and I learned about relapse prevention. That's why I do have a sponsor now when I go home.
Okay,
do
your
have a-
sponsor is from where?
Middletown. They have
I mean, is it an NA sponsor? Or
yeah, NA
recovery
sponsor.
coach?
Yeah,
Ah,
I
that's
have an NA
perfect.
sponsor now.
What is
and
your
then I have
sponsor's
a-
first name?
My sponsor first name is Valerie. She runs the St. Vincent de Paul's on Main Street.
Valerie from
Yeah.
St. Vincent de Paul. Okay.
Yup. They have
Okay.
they hold NA meetings there, and then they have one in Portland.
So your plan is to go to NA meetings, right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
What else? What else is part of your relapse prevention plan?
My job. I have 2 jobs waiting for me. I do
I
have
read about the dog grooming and
Yeah.
what's the other one?
The one is the restaurant. Because right now I wash dishes here. So I have my mother's friend open up a restaurant. It's called 10 Cup in Britain on Broad Street.
Nice. Okay. Tin Cup. Oh, that's a cool name. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to work at a restaurant. You're going to do dog grooming. You're going to go to
Yeah.
NA meetings. You have a sponsor for when you're feeling like you need
Yeah.
some help.
Mhm.
That's great. You're off to a good start.
I
Ms.
am,
Thompson.
and I do have a place to go to. Mr. Boyfriend has the address, and there's
Yes,
no
your
drugs there.
friend in Middletown.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's no drugs there. So I'm all right. I think I'm in a good space, and like I said, I do take action for my responsibility. Which
Yeah.
at the
What
end of
happened
the
to your
day,
cousin? Did your cousin get arrested and convicted?
he's going to court somewhere else. I don't know. I have no contact with that.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah, I have no how that happened that night. Like it should have never happened.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't have. Yeah.
Understood. But, I'm looking at your criminal record and this has been going on for a while. So
Yes,
your
the drug
whole mindset has to change. It all has to, everything has to be
I'm
different.
ready. This
All right.
the longest I've been incarcerated, and I lost
Okay.
everything. I have
Yeah.
nothing. I
Yeah.
have nothing.
Okay. Well, so why, if you had all this money, why were you living in a hotel?
Because I didn't want to be at home doing what I was doing.
At home?
Like,
Where is home?
yeah, I was living on Silver Street when this happened, but I lost everything.
Okay.
So I just happened to be at a hotel and stuff,
Yeah.
getting a break from my house, but I have nothing now. So
All right.
that's where, that's how it ended up with the situation with my cousin, because he asked me, like, could I come talk to you? So I didn't know what was going on with him. That's how that's exactly how that happened.
Well, now you know.
Yes.
Did you apply for a sentence modification?
No, I had the judge forgot to tell me to that I had to go register. So I did a video on July 18th.
Yeah.
Video so she could remind me that I have to go register when I get out on at the barracks in Meriden.
Oh, the deadly weapon offender registry?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. And did you finish the culinary arts program?
I will be done in March. I think I have I'm on salad chapter 22, and I have to do my resume and learn how to fill out the job application.
Oh, good.
And then I'll be done, and I get my OSHA 10 the next week, the 23rd.
10 next week. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Hopefully all these skills can help you. You still working in the kitchen?
Yes, ma'am. And I'm
What are you doing there?
I wash dishes.
No, you're ticket free. What do you do in the kitchen?
I wash dishes.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I wash dishes. I've been in the same job for almost 2 years.
That's great.
Yeah,
Okay, well, if you could do that there, then you could do just about anything.
I
the community.
said that. I said if I could work for $2 a day, I know
Right.
I could do this.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for answering my questions. Ms. Smith-Palmieri?
I have nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Pohl?
I just have one. How old is your cousin?
Savon, I think it's 2021.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so it sounds like Ms. Thompson has done some more work since the read here, has a positive release plan, and is ready to go back out and prove herself, get a job, keep working. and not come back here. Thoughts?
I agree. I mean, we hear all the elements of offender change,
Right.
which I think is important. She recognizes what was going on at the time and how to make those changes.
Yeah.
Like you said, and has a good release plan.
It's fun. Okay.
I'm there
All
as
right.
well.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
can wash dishes for
Oh,
2
thank you.
years. I think, she can do well out in the community.
All right. In the matter of Asia Thompson, inmate number 283610, I'll move to grant parole effective today, January 17th, 2025, with the following conditions. So let's say no contact with your co-defendant, Savon Valentine, AKA Adrian Williams. Anything further?
Nothing further.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, keep working hard, okay, Ms. Thompson? We wish you the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you.
And as of 8/11/2025, she still is out, which you might say is surprising. I was expecting her to get revoked, except when you look at her history, she does have 7 successful completions. So one would expect that she would have an 8th successful completion, and then maybe she'll just catch a new felony. The problem is, let's give her credit where it's due. She completed the program they asked for. She had a plan, 2 potential jobs. She had the name of a sponsor. I mean, she did check all the boxes. For that case, I got to give her credit, but still she couldn't help but lie, even again with the gun and the living in the hotel and why. Maybe she can't help it. Maybe it's just an entire life of doing it. She just can't help it. Now, I hope that she does well. Of course, I'm rooting for her, right? But 25 years of in and out, and this was her longest sentence. But you got to give her credit. Give her credit where it's due. She is still out as of now. Now, her special parole date, it runs through at I think 1/10/2026. So she still has some more time to mess up, that we might see her in a revocation hearing. And if we do, she'll be in the return of playlist. But now what we're going to do is we're going to watch a hearing. It's of this woman who's an escape artist. She has 4 escapes in her jacket. And escape means, it means that like while you're on parole, if you disappear, absconding, right? That falls under escape. Now, here's the thing. I played this hearing before. So if you're a super uber duper regular, you may have seen it. But let me explain my logic to you. There is a 95% chance that you haven't seen it. It has 4,800 views. The channel right now is getting close to 100,000 subscribers. That would mean less than 5% of my subs have seen it. Now, that number even breaks up more because YouTube doesn't only show it to my subs. They do sometimes it's 50% is not subscribed, 50%, right? So let's say it's 2,500. So as you can see, most of you have not seen it. And then of that number, about 50% of you click off 30 seconds in, make an impulse decision, I'm not interested. So it's even smaller than that. So the reason I replay these hearings is not because I'm recycling, because there are so many hearings that I can cover. It's simply that you haven't seen it yet. And I think that it is a worthwhile hearing to see. I look at the list, just to give you context before we jump in. This is a spreadsheet from 2024. Okay. And 2024, and it's 1 quarter. It's Q3 of 2024. You see, I just went down the list and did this one. All of these hearings that don't have a green highlight in it, I haven't done yet. Okay, just right here, 1, 2, 3 of the 5 women I haven't done yet. I'm curious to know why I haven't done it. Maybe I'll go check it out. So there are plenty of hearings for me to do, but the reasons that I'm replaying these is because they really did stick out for me. And most of you haven't seen it yet. So anyways, we'll jump in and watch it. And if you have all seen it already, then you can obviously click off. So let's go.
That one day, you were out one day. I mean, you're making it difficult for me, and you're making it difficult for your parole officer because we don't have a track record.
When I look through the history of her escapes, this is her 4th escape. And each time she's placed in a halfway house, within days, weeks, or even hours, she's just left.
And we are about to watch the parole revocation hearing of a woman who's got a jacket full of offenses. But what sticks out particularly is her her tendency, or I should say trend, of running away, absconding. She gets sent on special parole and she gets up and disappears. And this time she lasted a whole about 2 hours before leaving her halfway house. And this is a part of the DOC that a lot of us wouldn't be aware of or know about. You know, you get paroled, you get sent to a halfway house, but then you disappear. Then what happens? Well, you show up to this parole revocation hearing. She's going to be told how much time she's going to be punished for absconding. And she has a lot riding on this because her full term date is 2033. Now, the way that she responds at the end, it's something else. And there are twists and turns in this hearing, so be sure to stick around for it. With that, let's jump in.
Yes.
We will now review the charge that the state your parole officer is bringing against you and information underlying each charge. So P.O. Sheehan, if you can please read the charges.
Sure. Charge 1 for residence. On 11/14/2023, you were released from York CI and placed at Rise Halfway House in New Haven after your special parole was reinstated. At this time, Rise Halfway House was the only approved residence. On 11/14/2023, the same day you were placed at Rise, you told staff you were leaving and walked out the door without permission from staff or your assigned parole officer. You made no attempts to contact halfway house staff or parole officer. To date, your whereabouts were unknown in the community. Based on your actions, you were in violation of release direction residence. And charge 2, absconder. On 11/14/2023, you were released from York CI and placed at Rise Halfway House in New Haven after your special parole was reinstated. At the time, Rise Halfway House was your only approved residence. On 11/14/2023, the same day you were placed at Rise Halfway House, you told staff you were leaving and walked out the front door without permission from staff or your assigned parole officer. You made no attempts to contact Halfway House staff or your parole officer. To date, your whereabouts were unknown in the community. Based on your actions, you are in violation of release direction absconder.
Thank you. And the state saw the following exhibits that are pre-marked for identification purposes as Exhibit A, signed statement of understanding and agreement, conditions of parole. B, special parole acknowledgement agreement. C, Connecticut Board of Parole remand and custody order. D, notice of parole violation. E, parole violation report. F, notice of parole rights. G, Rise Women's Program Residential Handbook. H, Halfway House Agreement, Rise Halfway House. And I is Rise Halfway House Incident Report. Did you receive notice of parole violation report, and the other documents I marked, and did you review them?
Yes.
And counsel saw the following exhibit pre-marked for identification purposes. Defense Exhibit 1, list of parole accomplishments and future plans for parole reinstatements. Do you need to continue this hearing to obtain any additional evidence? We have no witnesses. So at this time, the state will have an opportunity to speak to any of the evidence submitted. P.O. Sheehan, I'm just going to swear you under oath so you can speak today. If you can raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or sincerely affirm, as the case may be, the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and with the truth so help you God upon penalty of perjury.
I do.
All right. Would you like to say anything in regards to the violation?
No, I think that the violation report can speak for itself.
Okay, so it's now defense opportunity. Would you like to speak at this time?
Yes. Good morning, P.O. Sheehan. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. All right, quick question. I know the facts here speak for themselves. The same day that my client was placed at the halfway house, November 14th of 2023, it's the same day she left the program, correct?
Correct.
All right, she was picked up, it appears, by the fugitive unit and Fairfield Police on January 29th, 2024.
I believe that's correct, yes.
Okay, were you present when they picked her up?
I was not.
Okay, as her assigned parole officer, as far as you know, she did not, from November 14th to January 29th of 2024, as far as you know, my client did not pick up any criminal cases along the way, correct?
as far as I know.
Okay. As far as you know, as right now, she does not have any pending court dates anywhere. She's not currently being held on bond anywhere, correct?
No.
Okay. So, once again, she was on one day. We know that. I did speak to my client, and I will get into it a little bit more on the second part of the hearing. It appears her grandmother passed away on August 21st. Her mother passed away on November 1st, 2023, and her grandfather passed away on November 30th, 2023. Not making excuses for my clients. It should have been handled differently after speaking to her, but she does suffer from some mental health illness, and now she realized she's been incarcerated since January 29th of 2024. She has taken her medication, and I've had an opportunity to speak to her. She's a little more clear-headed now. But these are the facts as presented. I'm not disputing what's here, but I would get a little bit more into her background at the appropriate time.
So, what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna announce my findings. So, on charge 1, I do find you violated condition of restriction residence based on the evidence provided, exhibits E and I. On charge 2, I find you violated condition of restriction absconder based on a warrant being issued by the BOPP and evidence provided in support of that charge, exhibits E and I. That includes the fact-finding portion of the hearing. Before I make a recommendation, the state will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. After the state is finished, council will have the same opportunity. This purpose part of the hearing is to help determine what outcome I will recommend. So, P.O. Sheehan, would you like to say anything in regards to the second part of this hearing?
Yeah, because I do not really know Miss Egbert Peak very well. But when I look through the history of her escapes, this is her 4th escape. And each time she's placed in a halfway house, within days, weeks, or even hours, she's just left. I'm really concerned about her getting treatment on the outside because she doesn't cooperate with even staying at the halfway house long enough to even connect with treatment. And it sounds like she's getting treatment and inside. And I think it's really important for us to stabilize her a little bit more than just a few weeks. It's really concerning that she's not even willing to start treatment on the outside. I'm very concerned about that for her safety.
Thank you. Okay, council, like to say anything?
Yes, I don't disagree with the parole officer just put on a record. My client is on supervision until 2033, so she still has quite a bit of time left. As I previously indicated, she does suffer from some mental health issues. There's 3 deaths in a short period of time. I'm not making excuses for her, but as a parole officer, she indicated she is getting treatment at York. She did meet with a psychiatrist, and she also received some methadone. So she is clear-headed at this time, and I would like for her to continue that when she's out in the community at some point. But my client does understand she needs to get on track because she has 9 years left of supervision. She's 39 years old. She did take some prerequisite classes in Naugatuck Valley Community College in Waterbury, and on a previous incarceration, she did take some general studies from Middlesex. Due to her mental health history, she does not have a previous work history. She does want to complete some college to get a psychology degree. And as far as somewhere down the road, she is interested in being placed in a halfway house. Bridgeport is the first choice, and New Haven is her second choice. And she does want to re-enroll to obtain her master's in psychology, as I indicated. She's done some IOP in the past. Looks like in September 2022, Bridgeport, and then she transferred to the recovery network, the J Brothers. As I said, I did speak to her. She knows she needs to get on track. She knows she needs to take her medication. And I think she's off to the right start as far as since she's been at York. She did meet with the psychiatrist, and she's currently taking her medication. Ms. Peak, anything you want to add regarding your parole officer is right on point. Once you're reinstated, you need to engage in treatment, and they can't be, that one day, you're out one day. I mean, you're making it difficult for me, and you're making it difficult for your parole officer because we don't have a track record. And I know you're capable of doing it, and after speaking to you via telephone, you're kind of coherent now, you're taking your meds to do what you're supposed to do. You need to get yourself on track.
Yeah, I do want to say, I know that it does look as if this is just a pattern of behavior, and I do understand that. And this time it really was just I was just grieving so much. Even before my grandfather died, it was just with my mother and my grandmother, I was scared to leave here, but I didn't have a choice. When they say you're leaving for a halfway house, you're leaving for a halfway house. And I know that I have a long time left on parole, but I was actually informed by the officers that when they brought me up here, that if I can get even just half of the time done under my belt, I don't have to do the whole amount of time. And to me, that large amount of time seems daunting. And I believe that if I take it just day by day, once I finally do get back out into the community, I can actually do it. If I get myself into some sort of treatment and start college and start getting myself a routine, I can complete this stuff. I can actually do it for myself. I just can't. I believe that for me, if I keep coming back here and just being stored away in jail over and over and over, it's just prolonging my life, and I keep doing it to myself. And I understand that. And I don't want to keep doing that to myself. And I know that I make it difficult for all of you when I do this. And I don't want to keep doing that. And I'm just very, very sorry that we're here today because of me. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. So as was noted by your parole officer, you do have two prior absconding violations on this period of supervision alone. And that is concerning that you leave the same day when we want you to get help and be involved in treatment. That's why you're on supervision, is so you can have help. So you are making it difficult on yourself. We're here to support you. And I hope that when you come out next time that you take advantage of that support you have. So, I mean, I'm gonna be right with you with a recommendation. So I'm going to make a recommendation that parole be revoked, be re-paroled for October 29th, 2024. This is about a 9-month period. As a sanction, I recommend the following parole conditions: halfway house placement, no consumption of alcoholic beverages, mental health treatment, no contact with victim ME without PO's permission. I'm going to present your case to the parole board on March 14th. They're going to make the decision on what happens. They can let you out sooner. They can hold you in longer, or they can agree with my recommendation. I hope that you get settled before you come back out so that you can do the right thing and be successful. Do you have any questions about anything?
No, just that's a long time.
Unfortunately, when you keep running from supervision, I mean,
But-
it's
Well,
not,
last time, the only reason I got so long was because I had other charges. Now you're telling me I got that long for basically nothing. Now I'm gonna get 9 months and I didn't even get other charges.
it's not basically nothing. You need to report to your parole officer and not. I mean, that's a recommendation. That's just a recommendation. The parole board is gonna make a decision March 14th, and then you're gonna know about a week after that what their decision is. So this is not final word. This is a recommendation.
Yeah,
So
but
the
they're
board-
gonna go along with your recommendation. That's what they
No, it's up
do.
to the parole board. It's up to the parole board. So you're all set for today. And you'll know, like I said, about a week after March 14th. So I wish you the best of luck.
When people kill themselves because of you, that's on you.
When people kill themselves because of you, that's on you. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that she is still very much here with us. The bad news is that she is still very much here with us. She is back. She got out and did the same thing the first day. Left their halfway house. So here she is at another revocation hearing. With that, let's jump in.
They can't hear me.
York, can you hear me?
Can you guys hear us?
Can you hear us now?
Yes, yeah.
Can you hear us now?
Oh, can you see us? They can hear us, can't they? You heard me say an orange suit is nothing good. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
York, can you hear us?
We can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Perfect. We can hear you now as well. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Great. So we're gonna get started now. Okay, is this recording? No. All right, good morning. I'm Parole Officer Chisella. I'm a hearing examiner for the Board of Pardons and Paroles. And this is a revocation hearing concerning Annika Egbert Peak, inmate number 315188. Today is Thursday, March 20th, 2025. And this hearing is being conducted via video at the Board of Pardons and Paroles office in New York Correctional Institution. Will you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record?
My name is Annika Elizabeth Ekberg Peak, number 315188.
Thank you. So this is a public hearing and public access to this hearing is available via video live stream. Present this morning is Attorney Sirica. Can you please identify yourself for the record?
Sure. Attorney Alfonso Sirica, Public Defender with the Parole Revocation Unit, on behalf of Ms. Egbert Peak this morning.
Thank you. So this is a revocation hearing to determine whether you have violated the conditions of your release. I will review and make findings of facts as to each of the charges against you. The state, not you, has a responsibility to prove the allegations by a preponderance of evidence. That is, the better or weightier evidence must establish that more probably than not the allegation is true. If I do not find that there's a preponderance of evidence to support a violation of one or more of the conditions of your parole, I will reinstate your parole, which means releasing and placing you back on parole supervision. If I find that you have violated one or more of the conditions of your parole, I will consider whether or not your parole should be revoked. And if I recommend a revocation, I will make a recommendation as to the appropriate sanction. My recommendation will then be given to a panel for a final decision, and if the panel wishes to impose a sanction beyond my recommendation, a supplemental hearing will be provided to justify additional confinement. You should know that a revocation hearing is an adversarial proceeding, and anything you say at this hearing can be used against you. This hearing is also being recorded. The testimony at today's hearing will be taken under oath. So, Ms. Egbert Peak, can you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear, solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God or upon penalty of perjury.
I do.
Thank you. So we're going to go over the procedure for today's hearing. First, I'm going to read you your rights. Then we'll review the parole violation charges that the state, your parole officer, is bringing against you. We'll then review and identify the exhibits filed for the record.
The state is not present at today's proceedings. However, you will have an opportunity to present any relevant testimony and any relevant documents. After considering all the evidence presented, I will announce my findings. And if I find that you violated one or more of the conditions of your parole, you'll have the opportunity to speak to your background and history. Do you have any questions about the purpose or procedure before we begin?
I do not.
So you do have important rights at today's hearing, and we're going to review them now. Your first right is that you have the right to be represented by an attorney, and counsel is here present for you. You also have the right to receive written notice of charges of violation. Did you receive that written notice?
I did.
Great. So you also have the right to review the evidence against you before this hearing. You have the right to submit evidence in support of your case. You have the right to call and examine voluntary witnesses and to cross-examine adverse witnesses. You understand these rights, and are you ready to go forward?
I do, and I am.
So we're now going to review the charges that the state, your parole officer is bringing against you and the information underlying each charge. So on charge number 1, condition of residence, the charging officer reported that on 10/29/2024, you were released from York CI and placed at Stillman Halfway House in Hartford after your special parole was reinstated. At this time, Stillman Halfway House was your only approved residence. On 10/29/2024, the same day you were placed at Stillman Halfway House, you told staff you were leaving and walked out the door and got into a vehicle without permission from staff or your assigned parole officer. You made no attempts to contact Halfway House staff or your parole officer. To date, your whereabouts in the community were unknown. Based on your actions, you're in violation of release direction residence. On charge number 2, condition of absconder, the charging officer reported that on 10/29/2024, you were released from York CI and placed at Stillman Halfway House in Hartford after your special parole was reinstated. At this time, Stillman Halfway House was your only approved residence. On 10/29/2024, the same day you were placed at Stillman Halfway House, you told staff you were leaving, walked out the door and got into a vehicle without permission from staff or your assigned parole officer. You made no attempts to contact Halfway House staff or your parole officer. To date, your whereabouts in the community were unknown, and based on your actions, you're in violation of release direction absconder. On charge number 3, condition of obedience to the law, the charging officer reported that on 11/16/2024, you were arrested by Stratford Police Department and charged with criminal impersonation in violation of Connecticut General Statute 53A-130 and interfering with an officer, in violation of Connecticut General Statute 53A-167A. You were issued a promise to appear in court with a court hearing date of 12/4/2024. The state has filed the following exhibits that have been remarked for identification purposes. I have Exhibit A, the parole, the special parole acknowledgement agreement. Exhibit B, the Connecticut remand to custody order. Exhibit C, the notice of parole violation. Exhibit D, the parole violation report. Exhibit E, the notice of parolee rights. Exhibit F, the Halfway House agreement, Stillman Halfway House. Exhibit G, the Stillman Halfway House incident report. Exhibit H, the revocation summary. Exhibit I, the decision summary. And Exhibit J, the Stratford Police Report number 240027693. In addition, the state has filed 2 addendums to the parole violation report, both which are also admitted as evidence. The first one was submitted on 11/18/2024 and states that on 10/31/2024, the board issued a warrant based on the report declaring Egbert Peak an absconder from parole supervision. On November 16, 2024, she was apprehended by the Stratford Police Department and charged with criminal impersonation and interfering with an officer. And they noted that this is Egbert Peak's 4th time absconding from special parole supervision since her discharge to special parole on September 7, 2022. In addition to her 4 absconding, she also escaped from community release from March 4th, 2022. Egbert Peak's absconding history is as follows: abscond on 10/30/2022, return to custody on 3/6/23, abscond on 4/25/23, return to custody on 5/14/23. Abscond on 12/4/23, return to custody on 1/29/24, and abscond on 10/31/24, return to custody on 11/16/2024. The second addendum was submitted on 2/18/2024 and states that on February 13, 2025, Egbert Peak appeared in GA2 Bridgeport Superior Court and was convicted of criminal impersonation and sentenced to unconditional discharge, and the charge of interfering with an officer was nollied. So counsel, did you receive the notice of parole violation, the parole violation report, and all the other documents identified?
Yes, I did.
Great. And I did also receive a defense exhibit 1, a list of full accomplishments and future plans for parole statement. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
All right, need any more time to submit other evidence?
No.
Okay, so we don't have any witnesses today, so at this time, it is the defense's opportunity to call any witnesses, present evidence, and speak to the charges and evidence.
Yes, first part of the hearing will be very brief, kind of self-explanatory what happened here. Just do want to put on the record for charge number 3 under obedience to the law. That addendum is correct. She did appear in court. The case was disposed of shown February 13th, 2025. The criminal impersonation was an unconditional discharge, not getting any jail time, probation, or anything like that. And the interfering charge was not. That is correct. That's my brief comment regarding part number 1, but I do want to be heard regarding the situation for the second part of the hearing.
Thank you. Okay, so I have reviewed all the evidence. I've listened to the testimony at today's hearing. So with that, Ms. Eckford-Peak, I am finding that you violated the condition of residence based on the evidence presented in exhibits A, D, and G. On charge number 2, I found that you violated the condition of absconder based on the evidence presented in exhibits A, D, and G. And on charge number 3, I found that you violated the condition of obedience to the law based on your conviction of criminal impersonation on 2/13/25 when you were sentenced to unconditional discharge, as well as states exhibits A, D, and J. So that does conclude the fact-finding portion of today's hearing. Before I make my recommendation, you'll have an opportunity to speak to your background and history, and the purpose of this part of the revocation hearing is to help determine what outcome I recommend. Counsel?
Yes, on behalf of Ms. Peak, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. And I did have a frank conversation with my client. As you can see under charge number 1, that was the same day she was placed at the halfway house is the same day she left the halfway house. The issue here is Ms. Peak. She knows what's right. She knows what's wrong. She does have some severe mental health disabilities. I'm not making excuses for her, but there's another individual. I understand he's not the one here in front of you that's going to be sanctioned on this. It's going to be Ms. Peak. But this same individual that was previously involved when I've represented her in the past. I know his name is in the police report. I'm not going to put his name on the record, but the initials BR are going to go on the record. As I indicated to Ms. Peak, he seems to be one of the roots of her problems. And just to put on the record, it's fair game because his name is in the police report. And he's the individual that was involved on November 16th of 2024. He's the one that was driving a stolen vehicle. It was not my client. This particular individual currently, this is as of yesterday, so this information is relatively up to date. He has 10 cases currently pending in court with bonds totaling $350,000 cash assurance. Obviously, he's incarcerated. It's probably the best thing that's happened for my client because this individual that influences my client with severe mental health disabilities keeps getting her jammed up, and she could potentially be jammed up until 2033. That's when her OS date is. So you see this pattern of absconding. I'm not making excuses for her. That's not my role here. I just want to explain to you, when you have someone that has such an influence on you, she's lost 3 family members at the end of 2023. She lost her mother, she's incarcerated. She lost her grandmother and her grandfather. So you have this one individual who has all that influence over her. She's 40 years old. Like I said, she knows what's right. She knows what's wrong. But this guy is ruining her life. So he's going to be locked up for a lot longer than hopefully when she gets reinstated at some point. So I may have that conversation and clear that up with her as to what she needs to do. So regarding Miss P, she's 40 years old. She was born in California, then moved to Naugatuck, Connecticut. She was placed at that halfway house. You can see what day she left. She did take some education classes at Naugatuck Valley Community College. She also took some general studies at York through Middlesex Community College with Wesleyan's University Center for the Prison Education Program. That indicated due to her mental health issues, she does not have a work history per se because of that. And she did begin to file the paperwork for disability benefits for mental health purposes. She did appears October to November 2024, did receive some medication-assisted treatment, methadone, with a counselor at the Liberation Program for a couple of weeks in Bridgeport. She also did some substance abuse IOP in Bridgeport. And also, it looks like a couple of years ago at Recovery Network of Programs, J Brothers in Bridgeport. Through my social worker, we actually received documentation which stated she did attend intensive IOP. She attended Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10:30 to 1:30. Client had open lines of communication, interacted with her peers during her sessions. Client completed a mental health evaluation and was prescribed medication while in treatment. So she is trying, but I think that X factor that's currently locked up is going to help her when she's back out in the community. Like I said, she has until 2023, so there's plenty of time for her to come back here if she chooses to. It's going to be a pattern. So once we take that factor out of the picture, I think she's going to be a little more successful in the community. Since she's been incarcerated, as it indicated, she does receive medication-assisted treatment, methadone, participates in that group once a week, medication compliant. She did sign up for Tier 1 and 12-step meetings and is on the wait list for school. She's interested in the culinary or hospitality field. As far as housing for reinstatement, I don't know how this is going to play out. My client knows what she needs. She's asking to be placed in an inpatient mental health program. I don't know how the field parole is going to deal with that, but that was at my client's request. And obviously I have to put that on the record because that's what she asked for. As far as education, she does want to obtain her ServSafe certification, enroll in culinary or the hospitality program, and she hopes one day to get a degree in psychology. She is going to finish the paperwork for the disability and is interested in working part-time in the restaurant industry once she obtains her Safe certification. Is amenable to any treatment recommendation. Like I said, typically our clients tell us what they did, but my social worker was able to actually get documentation from the provider. So what I put on the record was verified. Okay, I just want to make sure that's clear. Ms. P, anything you want to add? I not trying to put you down. That's not my purpose here today, but I have to be frank on the record to try to help you here. So you know what happened on October 29th and how long you lasted out in the community, and Mr. Sella can read. So it's not like we can hide what happened here, okay? It's up to you now because you can't blame it on PR anymore because he's going to be in for a lot longer, hopefully, that you're going to be. So you're going to be back out in the community, hopefully without his influence. So you need to get your act together. Because as you know, as I already put on the record, you're on supervision until 2033. You've been back here a couple of times already and I've represented you. And what I'm putting on here is nothing that is a surprise to her. She has the same documents I have. So anything you want to add about what you're going to do once you get back out?
I just want to say that I do plan on not repeating the same thing. I want to, as I said, I really think that if I went to some sort of mental health program, that would be good for me. I don't know what kind of options are available, but if that does not happen, I am not going to be repeating the same behavior. I want to be successful. I don't want to keep repeating this behavior. I am very, very tired of coming to this place, of wasting the state's time, of wasting your time and everybody's time, my parole officer's time, making people chase me, being chased. I just want to be a normal person. I do not want to keep doing this. I want to come out and just continue doing what I did once before. When I came out, I was able to go into inpatient, into IOP, and I was doing well. And I was on my medication and I want to get my disability and be able to go to school and then work or volunteer somewhere. And I just want to stay busy so that I have a schedule and I stay on track. I don't want to keep doing this. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Council, any further?
I don't have anything else to add. I just want to say she was indicated on track at some point here, but she keeps doing the same thing over and over. And at some point, she needs to stay on track based on the length of supervision she has left. But I keep repeating myself, I think that negative influence is incarcerated and it's hopefully going to help her stay on track. Like I said, we did actually receive documentation. She was on track and doing very well. So she's capable of doing it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I don't have to reiterate all of the statements because we've heard it in the addendum. Council has said it over and over again. The behavior is just a pattern this week, so it's very concerning. And I do appreciate your statement that you're tired. I can only imagine being tired from it as well. But at the same time, your actions have just not shown it. So with that being said, I am going to recommend that your parole be revoked and that you serve an approximate 18-month period of confinement as a sanction. That's with the re-parole date of May 16th, 2026. And I'm going to recommend the following conditions: no alcoholic beverage consumption, no contact with victims ME without parole officer's permission, and a mental health treatment. I do need a halfway house location because we don't place straight into mental health inpatient. So what would your location be for your halfway house?
Bridgeport.
But what I can recommend to you, Ms. Peak, is that when you get out, stay long enough and have the conversation with that parole officer to get you into that program.
Okay.
Just give yourself that you have to give yourself the opportunity because the resources are out there and available, but you have to give yourself the time and get to some treatment that'll be beneficial to you. Okay.
Okay.
So that is my recommendation. It's going to the board on April 3rd, 2025, and you'll receive a written decision from them shortly after. So on that date in April, the board can do three things. They can lessen my recommended sanction, they can adopt my recommended sanction, or they can ask to see you for a supplemental hearing if they have concerns and want to impose a sanction longer than what I've recommended. If that is the case, you'll be notified of that hearing because you'll be present for it and you'll answer their questions and concerns. Okay. Any questions at this point?
No.
So Ms. P, on April 3rd, the board meets, you and I will get something in writing about 7 to 10 days later with the final outcome. If there's an issue with them adopting the recommendation, I'll set up a call with you and explain the next steps, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
The revocation
Thank you.
for Annika Eckberg Peak, MA number 315118. Thank you, Ms. Peak. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And they actually gave her a meaningful sanction, 18 months, and she didn't throw a fit either. Isn't that interesting? It was almost anticlimactic, but I think the funniest thing about this entire thing is that her attorney's still putting up a fight for her. I just wonder, and I know it's his job, but I really wonder, like, at what point, especially in this kind of situation, like a revocation situation, at what point does it bar on the line of just like abuse? Like, there's no way that if she would have gotten out today because her bad influence is locked up, that she would have just excelled, that she wouldn't have gotten revoked again. Like, there's no way someone could believe that, right? Can you? Could you talk yourself into it and be like, yeah, at 40 years old, she's just under the influence by this bad guy? I mean, how could day one, you walk out and then you do it again and then you do it again and then you do it again. And frankly, I'm so confused putting together this hearing. Thank you, Holly, for using Sir Richard's spreadsheets to tie together the dots, because I did not recognize this woman. I kept thinking I was doing the wrong hearing. I put it in my editing file. I was looking for the names. I'm like, because there's another woman in the same docket that looks much more like her in phase one. The red hair, similar, even like mannerisms, and I thought so. I grabbed that and I put it in here, and I put in all the work, and then all of a sudden I realized, you know, I have to edit these things together, right? I mean, it's my editing file. I have the wrong person. Like, how did it? And Holly puts the timestamps and everything, but they were so close together. I thought it, and then I realized it was this woman who I was looking. They look totally different, right? Is it just me? I can't even. Oh my God, I don't know. I'm bad with faces, so it could be it's just me. Also, my brain's a little foggy. I can't even the dates. Everything is weird. I'm having a hard time following this one, so forgive me. But in a nutshell, I think so. The hearing that we covered first, and you might have seen it because we played that standalone, March 1st, 2024, and she got, I guess, a 9-month sanction. The second hearing takes place March. Sorry, no, yeah. Yeah, the second hearing takes place March 2025 or February 2025. I'm recording it March 2025. And she gets, so it's my understanding that in 11/14, she gets, 2024, she gets released, and then she gets revoked the next day, and then she gets a 9-month sanction, and then she gets out. What is it, March 20th, 2025, and then she gets I don't even know. I can't keep track. But either way, she absconded both times in the first day. It's my understanding, and that's just crazy. So this time they gave her I think it was an 18-month sanction. And let's just go over her record. I know, I'm sorry for messing this up. It's just I for those of you who don't know, I am learning disabled. I did not complete high school. I was diagnosed as dyslexic, but I think it's a misdiagnosis. I think it's something else, or maybe it's a combination of things. So when it comes to numbers, when it comes to like, I have a harder time than most. So I need to and this one is just confusing me. Anyways, for whatever reason it is, I can't explain it. But let's just go through her stuff. So special parole ends 2033. So good luck for her. Oh my God. Oh my God. This woman is going to be just, also the attorney, she's going to go graduate from college and become nurse. Like, no, some people, it's like she can't even go one day functioning outside of prison. I'm holding this thing that I think is making noise. So let's just see. Conspiracy to commit assault, 2nd degree, 5 years. Suspended after 18 months. Conspiracy to commit robbery, 2nd degree. Larceny, 5th degree. Assault, 1st degree. What does that mean? X into life. Special parole, 10 years. I guess this is what really got her. I don't know. Or she probably added more. Attempt to commit robbery, 1st degree. Violation of protective order. Can you imagine? I wonder if we should have protected order against. So Holly did find an article where it showed she had gotten in a fight with her mother once. Maybe it was that, but who knows? 328-21. Maybe it would be funny if it's the guy who the attorney blamed. Escape, 1st degree. This is our one escape, right? Remember the last one? What's the big deal? I just escaped. 7/5/2023. This is larceny, interference with an officer, violation of probation, 229, violation of probation, 1210. And she just can't help herself. Here, she stole someone's car and pushed them out of a moving vehicle. That must have been the assault one. That doesn't look good. I'm not going to go through the article because it was like all these ads were popping up. Here's where she assaulted her mother in 2016. She's not a pleasant person. All these assaults. This is not someone who's just stealing out of the local pharmacy so she can buy her narcotics. I mean, but 19 months. I mean, this is. I think what's the takeaway here is that there are. The takeaway. I guess some people. I don't know. They're throwing all this money and help and assistance and everything, but she can't help herself. You can't. It's like if she's not locked in a prison, where she can't escape. She's just gonna escape. She can't help herself. There's no self-preservation. Nothing. There's nothing. It's strange to see, but we're seeing it. So thank you again, Lady Holly and Sir Richard. Teamwork on this. We have many more coming. It goes into the return of playlist. We have many more hearings where people were paroled and come back. Check out that playlist if you want to see more like this. And with that, I'll let you go.
That one day, you were out one day. I mean, you're making it difficult for me. And you're making it difficult for your parole officer because we don't have a track record.
When I look through the history of her escapes, this is her fourth escape. And each time she's placed in a halfway house, within days, weeks, or even hours, she's just left.